This is the demo for the Plasmatron Ebeam gun evaporation system. Right here is your Systeme 2 power supply for the Ebeam gun. Here's your control rack. This right here is your valve display to tell you what valves are on or off in your pumps. Coming down here is your controller for your temperature. Then your rotation control. Over here is your valve control. Down below is your main power on, your heat switch, and your cryo pump switch. Over here is your system status to tell you where your vacuum is at, your chamber doors, and your water switches are on. Below that is your indexer. It tells you which pocket you'll be in. This is a 4-pocket indexer. Below this is your deposition rate controller. Next to that is just your manual shutter. And then you have your E-beam controls, your high voltage control, and your gun control. Below that is your sweep controller, and below that is your thermocoupler gauge and your ion gauge. So you can see right now your chamber's in 4 and a 2 and a 7 range. Over here is your chamber. I will open up at the end of the demos, but for right now, because I wanted to make sure you saw the base pressure of the system, you can see that it's well below specs. Here is the side of the chamber. And here is the back. Back here is your pump, and then your cryo compressor. Over here is the back of the system where you have your air hookup, your N2 for venting, your water lines. You have an air cooled compressor, so you don't need the waters for the cryo to come out, and then you got your valving. Here's the back of your chamber. Back here is your cryo pump. This is your circuit breaker panel. Back of the control panel. And back of the Systeme 2 power supply. Alright, I'm going to show you how to pump down the chamber. We're just going to close the door. Then come over here to your CHA, and we're just going to hit the auto pump down controller to start. going to turn on your roughing pump or your roughing valve. And once it turns on the roughing valve, we can take a look at your vacuum gauge and look at channel 1. And channel 1 will start coming down. And the crossover is around 80 millitorr or 80 microns, which is right around here. And that's your crossover to go into high vac. So we'll wait for that to pump down to 80 millitorr. Now on the Autotech 2, you have a rotary switch here where you can put this in manual and be able to override any of the valves to the chamber. Or you can just run automatic, which you have vent if you push it all the way up, middle is standby, and start will pull vacuum on the chamber, which we are doing now. Now I'll bring it back over to the vacuum gauge, and you can see the chambers getting pumped down. Channel 2 is for your cryo. And you can just hear that it just crossed over and went over into high vac. Now I'll turn on your ion gauge. Channel 1 is to your chamber. Channel 2 is to your cryo, which is indicated by up here saying ion gauge 1 for the chamber, ion gauge 2 for your cryo pump. And that is how you pump it down. If you want to vent it, all you have to do is hit it straight up to the vent, and you can see it close the high vac valve, and now it will open up the vent valve. And you can see down there that channel 1 is at atmosphere or getting to atmosphere. When you know the thing's at atmosphere, you will see this light go out, and that will tell you when you're clear to open the door.